How's it going? Hope you're having a great night. Tonight, I just wanted to share a little bit about the backstory for the artwork on ships. And so to start out, I want to talk about the ship. And so that story actually begins with my grandparents. And so here's a picture of them. My Grandpa Dick and Grandma Arlene. And so I actually remember them a little bit older than this. And here's a picture of them on the front here. So Grandma Arlene and then Grandpa Dick. And so that's kind of how I remember them. And even, here's a picture of my grandpa. You might have seen it on my desk. So I've had this for quite some time. I had it on my church mission. And also I had it during my tour in Iraq. And so it's just been kind of a help and a support to me to have this picture of my grandpa with me. And so here is a picture of my grandparents' home. So this is in Soda Springs, Idaho, and their home was actually about like 5 to 10 miles north of town. And so as a kid, I remember we would go out and visit them quite often. We lived in Soda Springs too for most of my childhood. And so when we'd go out and visit, they had this awesome basement in the house. And so there were just a bunch of toys down there. And I remember they had Lincoln logs. And so they're basically like a little log set deal where you can make cabins and different things. And I used to love or just be fascinated with those and what I could create. I actually have like a love and a drive for architecture, so I really haven't practiced it that much or went into that direction much, but I used to love building Lincoln logs. So they also had a pool table down there, and it was always fun to be able to just play pool, and so we learned how to play pool and things, and it was a lot of fun with my brothers. So when we'd go visit, and I don't know how often it was, sometimes I would go upstairs to these upper rooms. So there were 2 bedrooms and a bathroom in the middle. And I don't know if I had to sneak up there or what, or I can't really remember if it was kind of an off-limits place or not. But it was like just so immaculately clean up there. And also just had this really neat vibe to it, like very peaceful, very quiet, and your imagination could just kind of soar there, So it was just the neatest place to go up there and just like imagine things and go on imaginary adventures and things. And so one of the things that was up there in this bedroom to the side was the ship. So this is the ship off of the album artwork. And man, so I remember going up there and I would just get lost in adventure as I looked over the details, the ropes, like the lifeboats, the wheel, it like turns and stuff. It's got like anchors and things. And I just remember like really getting into it and really just going on adventures with it, And so since I was like gonna be talking about the ship, I wanted to kind of get the backstory on it. And so I spoke with my parents, I spoke with one of my aunts, and hopefully I've got most of the story right. And so my grandpa, let me pull up a picture of him. So here's a picture of my grandpa's family. And so here's my grandpa right here. And so he had 3 brothers and a sister. And so this brother, his name was John. And so John, he lived out in Maryland, DC area, and he was a scientist out there. And so he and his wife, they had just, I guess, this as much as I've heard it being described, it's just a wonderful, beautiful, magnificent home. And they had just neat decorations and different things around their home. And so I don't know, it's kind of interesting just hearing different stories about it. But so apparently, so when my great Uncle John passed away, so he had been married twice, and his first wife had died kind of at an early age, and then his second wife had died before him also. And so when he passed away, there was their home, and they actually didn't have any children. And so my grandpa, he went out there, and my grandma may have. I'm not really sure on that, but so for the funeral, to plan things and get things put together, and to say goodbyes and things. And so out at that funeral and at that time, apparently, yeah, they didn't really want to take any furniture and things back from Maryland area back to Idaho. And so they took apparently this ship and maybe some other things back with them as keepsakes of my great Uncle John. And so I don't know, that just like brought even more meaning to it to me. So how I came about having the ship was, so when my grandma and grandpa had passed away, they kind of went around asking, my parents asked me, is there something, this is when I was, I guess I would be around 17. They went around asking, is there like a keepsake or something from their home that you would like to have? And the first thing that came to mind was this ship. It was, I guess, a small but a big part of my childhood memories there, and just the adventures that I would have with this ship. And so this is what I chose as my keepsake. And finding out even deeper meaning with it has been really meaningful to me. I love my family, and I love learning about my history, and that was really neat to me to learn about my great Uncle John. And so that is the ship part of the artwork. So along with the artwork there, so I had the picture, I had the ship, and then I wanted kind of just, you got to put the words on there, the design and stuff. And so I use canva.com to do a lot of designing, and basically they have different templates, and I kind of looked through the templates and picked different interesting ones, and I came across this one. And on the template, so if you can imagine, instead of the ship picture, it was just like plain blue, like a darker blue, and then instead of ships, it said stars align. And it didn't really look that attractive to me, but align. So back in January, my wife and I had a set of twins, and so a boy and a girl. I wish she had a bow on her head in this picture, but she doesn't. Anyways, our girl, her middle name is Align. And so I was like, well, for her, I'll choose this template just to see what happens, And so I popped the picture into the different templates, and then I come across the Stars Align template, and I put the picture in, and I'm like, whoa, like that's exactly what I was going for almost, like the feel. Like I love the brush stroke used in the name here, and I love the stars, because stars, they're a big part of the song and things. And so basically I put the picture in there and put my signature and a border. I don't know if I might have adjusted the stars a little bit too, but basically, yeah. So that was the other part of the ship's artwork that was kind of interesting. And so I hope that was interesting to you. I just wanted to kind of like share a little bit about my past. You know, this ship isn't as pristine of condition as it used to be, but it's still like really a marvel to me. Like I'm kind of admiring it as I watch it on my phone as I'm recording this, you know. And I don't know. So I hope that you can find, I guess, meaningful things in your family, and really just, you know, follow your heart, follow your dreams. And it's kind of neat, you know, how my daughter's name kind of played a role in selecting the album artwork, you know. So there's just meaning in a lot of different things that you might never think there is meaning or too much meaning to. So anyways, I hope you have a great night, and I'll talk to you again soon.